Hey, welcome to the Real Estate Investing Done Right YouTube channel. Thank you guys for checking in another episode. Today we're going to be talking about a market analysis on Austin, Texas. Probably the hottest market out in Texas right now. Hottest metro out there. So let's jump right in. Right into the Austin numbers. Obviously, you see this graph every time, and I like to explain it every time. So this is basically going to break down what's happening right now and year to date, right? It's going to break down exactly what we're seeing, and it's going to kind of compare it to last year as well, just so we can kind of gauge back and look exactly what's happening in the real estate market. So we look at it, obviously over to the left, we got residential, single family, townhomes, condominiums. So residential, that's mainly the biggest number we're going to look at because that's going to break it down from everything on the residential side. And I think that's very important for us to understand, especially as real estate investors or realtors or whatever you are. That's going to help you understand exactly what's important. So we're just going to go to single family residential property and not necessarily single family townhomes, condominiums, unless you absolutely specialize in it. So let's take a look at it. Year to date closed sales in single family properties. Obviously we're down a little bit, but as far as this month, which is the top number, my goodness, it is going crazy right now for this last month. It's going crazy. 4,500 closings for the month of July in the Austin Round Rock area. That's up 21% from last year. My goodness, it's crazy. I can't say it any other way. It's just crazy. Now we're going to the dollar volume. Dollar volume, we're looking at $2 trillion. Before it was the exact same thing. I mean, it's $2 billion. Year to date, it's been almost $9 billion, up 36%. That is very big. Just in 1 month, we essentially in the year to date, we've closed almost up north of 25% of the market just being in July, right? We did more home value in that month. That tells me one thing: prices are going up, and let's see if the average price lets me know that are on the side. So we look at the average price just year to date. On average, it was going, all the homes was going for $413,164, which is about 5%, which is a good year, right? Which is a good year, especially a year, election year. Everybody was thinking prices of houses was going to dip a little bit. Prices of homes are going to dip a little bit. So with this being said, this is going to be a great year for us to be even increased. Now we're talking about just the month, up 12.5% just in that month. The properties have went up in 30,000. If you bought it in January, you have now enough equity to sell your particular home, which is insane. Prices are going up and they're skyrocketing. And who's better off to benefit from that? You guys. So with that being said, let's jump into the median price. Obviously, if the average price went up, the median price has to go up, which went up $23,000, 10% year over year, 5.6% year to date, right? So that's very, very big. If we want to break it down in single family properties, obviously there's always more single family than anything else. Single family sales are up 21%. Townhouses are up 21%. We're just talking about closed sales here. Condominiums are up 19%. Which is huge. Everything is selling more. It don't matter what category you're in. Everything is being pushed up. Hey, before we get any further, I want to make sure if you like the video up until this point, make sure you like the video. And if you're interested in everything, the Real Estate Investing Done Right YouTube channel, if you think this might be a channel for you, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and cut on those bell-like notifications. Because every day, multiple times a week, we drop videos containing market analysis, entrepreneurship, business in general, sales talk, anything real estate investing, right? We're going to be dropping a lot of that content all the time. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell-like notifications. Let's get back to it. And even when we look at year to date, let's look at year to date, 19.6, right? I think, I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of these particular properties are being pushed up, right? Because so much lack or so much competition on single family residential homes, right? So much competition on single family homes that people are naturally gravitating to something that's a little bit easier. Oh, well, this condo will do. Well, this townhouse will do, right? I think that's the main reason why you're seeing those numbers fluctuate, because look, there was only 265 townhomes bought 269 bought the whole year, and that's including my 65 from last month in July. But you take away the 65, and now we're at 204, right? So the previous 7 months, really, real estate wasn't selling a whole heck of a lot, right? So with that being said, you can tell that there's just been an increase in those townhomes as far as competition for everything. As far as single family, people just reverted to, what can I get now? Okay, a townhome is what I can get now, and they just went with it. That's exactly what I think about that. So let's go into dollar volume. Obviously, again, dollar volume for single family is up almost 40%. Obviously, year over year is 5.2. Then we look at townhomes, condominiums. Both of those are up. Condominiums is up 19.6. Townhomes is up 34.6 just in the month of July. Then we look at year over year. Obviously, both of those took an increase as well, which is a good thing for everybody. Now, one thing that is a negative number as far as townhomes, people are coming in and offering aggressive on these particular townhomes. Year to date, they've went up in average sales price. But as far as this month or the month of July, they were actually paying a little bit less for those particular townhomes. I don't know if there's just certain ones on the market that they're selling as is, but 11%, that speaks volume as a whole, not necessarily just one or two outliers. That speaks volume as a whole. So just about every one of those properties are selling for less. Let's look at the average home price on single family, looking at $460 for a house in Austin, just on average, right? And then $460 for the condos, and then obviously $360 for the townhomes. So let's push right over into median price. Median price for residential homes went up 11%, and year to year 5.7. Obviously, townhomes $285, year over year. Year to date is $266, and then condominiums the same, $299. And then year to date, $308. Right now, it's a hot market. I'll be honest with you. The reason why I believe it's a hot market is because I think there's a lot of fear. I think as Americans, we live based on fear and emotion. Just like I talk about in any kind of sales thing, we make decisions based off fear and emotion. So with that being said, I think right now, everybody is to the point where they believe that a crash is coming. Everybody's at that point now. I don't think it's going to look the same because we're under two totally different circumstances, right? If we was to open this thing back up and get back to normal or a new normal, there's going to be a sense of ownership, and people are going to want to get out here and make the world go around again, right? But if we can't open things up, obviously people are just afraid that they're not going to ever be able to buy a house. So they're going out there reacting, just making an emotional decision and going out here and just purchasing whatever they can just to say they bought something before the crash. That way, if you had an idea of what it was going to take, right, it's probably easier to get a loan right now than it will be, say, if a crash comes, right? So with that being said, I think it's just fear. I think people are feeding into the stories, people are feeding into the news, and essentially I believe fear is driving the economy right now. That's what's driving it up, because we haven't seen these numbers since before 2008, right? Because that was the last time people was anticipating another crash, and fear was just driving the market. So I think essentially that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So with that being said, hey, properties are high. If you're a real estate investor and you got that property that don't need a lot of work, that can pass conventional lending, go ahead and buy it and put it on the MLS, right? Same thing for a realtor. Hey, if you got anything that's pretty good to conventional lending, go ahead and put it on the MLS. It's going to sell. Right now, the numbers they are what they are. Either they buy fixer upper full price or over market value. I mean, they buy a rehabbed house over market value, or they buy a fixer upper full price. It's either one or the two, right? And for people that can only afford so much house, they don't really have many choices, especially in a market like Austin, where the average house is going for $449 or $413 if you're looking at the year. So with that being said, hey, keep winning. Hey, thank you for staying tuned in to the channel for this long. If you like the video, please make sure you hit the like button again. But ultimately, what I want to hear from you, I want to hear from you now. I want to hear, what did you think about this particular video? What did you think? If you know something that's coming in the future that I'm not addressing, or why you think people are buying houses the way they are, I would love to hear from you. Make sure you drop those comments below. Hey, and remember, keep winning.